I don't have enough money. I literally have £50 to last me the month once all the bills are paid, and I often have to resort to borrowing money from my friends to get me through. I take home between £1,400 and £1,500 a month, and I have to pay my rent, the council tax, gas and electric, put food on the table, and pay for my car, which I need to get to work. It's been really horrendous. I'm on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, and I've had to have 2 months off work because I had a breakdown caused by the stress. I would worry about the money, and then I wouldn't sleep. I couldn't see a way out of it. I'm quite a strong person, so it was a massive thing for me to admit I wasn't coping. All the time I was working shifts and trying to get signed off as a PC. When I think about how bad it was, it's like having lived through some sort of nightmare. It was an absolutely horrendous time in my life. It came to a head one day at work. I had a meeting about completing my probation. My sergeant just asked me, "How are you doing?" And I burst into tears. I ended up going home that day and not coming back for 2 months. I confided in one of my colleagues, and he said, "You need to speak to the Federation." So I did, and within a few days I was getting the help I needed. They were a lifeline for me. At Christmas, the Police Federation gave me food vouchers so we could have Christmas dinner. I was mortified about that. I was so grateful to get them, but I was also so ashamed that it had come to that. I was crying. How had it got to that stage? I felt I'd let my son down, and I just kept saying, "I'm so sorry." I felt like I couldn't protect him, that I'd failed as a mum, and that was awful. People say, "Why don't you leave?" And I did think about giving up being a police officer at some points, but I'm the type of person who's always wanted to help people and make sure they're okay. They say the government help you if you want to work, but I felt like I was being penalised for having a job. I'm also in a catch-22 position as I can't get a second job. I can't even do any overtime because as soon as I earn any additional money, that affects the little benefits that I am able to claim. So I'm kind of stuck in limbo. In the last few months, I worked the Trump visit and the royal wedding, so that's affected me quite badly. So when others would pick up extra shifts to cover additional expenses like birthdays, I can't. It was my son's birthday a few weeks ago, and we couldn't afford to celebrate it. I'm constantly worried and frustrated. When it comes to people who say police officers earn a decent wage, I think that maybe those who've been in the job for 10 or 15 years, then yeah, they're probably doing okay. But I joined later in life, on £20,000 a year as a single mum. It's very hard to manage. The chip shop manager down the road earns a similar amount. Well, what does that say? I think it's disgusting that emergency service workers do these jobs that are so highly valued for so little. We should be paid properly for the job we do and the risks that we face.